Okay, all right. Good evening. Welcome to the Long Hill Township Committee meeting of December 13th, 2017 at 7:38 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Here.
Committeeman Maringolo?
Here.
Committeeman Patercia?
Present.
Deputy Mayor Ray?
Present.
Mayor Schuler?
Here.
And for the Board of Health, Dr. Redling? Yes. And Mr. Trout?
Here.
So now I'm going to
recess
recess the
meeting.
Township Committee meeting and turn over to Matt to open the Board of Health meeting.
Thank you.
President Dorsey?
Yes.
You just have the two resolutions,
Oh, okay.
17002 on the VNA contract for 2018 and 17003 on the health services contract for burnouts.
Those are consent agenda. I have to break them out each.
You can do both, or we can do both.
Okay. I have a motion to move
Equal
resolution 17-002 or 001. It should be right.
Nope.
Then what's the other one?
One is from earlier in the
00
year.
and 17003.
So moved.
Second. Have a roll call, please.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Yes.
Committeeman Maringolo?
Yes.
Committeeman Patercia?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Ray?
Yes.
Mayor Schuler?
Yes.
Dr. Redling? Yes. Mr. Trout?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. That being said, is any discussion topics from any members of the prestigious health board? Seeing none, I'd like to move on to the adjournment. Anybody else have any comments from the public? Seeing nobody from the public is here, I'll close that section. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Do we need an all in
We didn't take
favor?
the
Aye.
All in favor?
Vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Trout, Dr. Reddick.
Thank you.
I'd just like to thank President Dorsey
Thank
for
you.
his.
Last 3 minutes of my presidency.
Matt, so you know that was not
Four if you
sincere.
count the first meeting of the year.
Oh, that's true, okay, yes.
All right, resuming the Long Hill Township Committee meeting, liaison reports, Matt?
Wait, kind of me a second, I have to get to pull up an email from the DPW.
While he's doing that, nothing from me.
Okay. Bruce?
Dennis, I'll leave.
So the HPAC committee met. They put a historic marker at the house, the Heller House at the corner of Lackawanna and Valley Road. The resident there was very excited. I think that's it from HPAC. The redevelopment committee subcommittee met as a result of the DEP meeting 2 weeks ago with regard to the hardship waiver. Essentially, the net here is that the parcels in the redevelopment zone are significantly below the flood level. The property on the south side of the street is almost 2 feet below, and the property on the north side of the street is within a foot. The folks from the DEP and the Land Use Committee that review this basically told us that you would essentially have to elevate the roads to provide safe ingress and egress in the event there was a flooding event for anybody that lived in anything that was built there. So we've asked the redeveloper, Elite, to go back and look at alternative solutions to what they originally proposed, which was a mixed-use retail residential development on both sides of the street, to see if we can minimize the residential use, specifically on the south side of the street, and come up with some other ideas on how to do something. So they're going to look at a number of different options and hopefully come back with some new ideas. possibly doing non-residential on the south side of the street, possibly increasing residential on the north side of the street, maybe some other uses, like parkland or, just open space on the south side of the street. So, a whole bunch of different ideas were thrown around. And, they have to look at the economics of all this to see, because we do have environmental cleanups that are really driving this whole process. So hopefully they'll come back with some good ideas. And how we doing, fellas? All right. So hopefully they'll come back with some good ideas, and we'll have substantial discussion come January on the topic. Additionally, I got a call from one of the attorneys representing the thermoplastics. I spoke to him today. Basically, he pleaded with me to try to move the process along. Obviously, the property owner is in a situation where, he can't sell it, he can't do anything with it, yet he's still paying taxes on it. So, his message to me was, please move this along. And that's my report.
You had mentioned the DEP said raised a roadway. Did they mean Valley Road or the private section?
They meant both Valley Road as well as Mercer Street. And Valley Road would be...
And Mercer.
Yeah, Valley Road would be significant because it's the elevation. They did surveying, and the elevation from the intersection of Main and Valley is significantly low, but the elevation doesn't get to the flood area until, I want to say, approximately the Obagle entrance. So you would have to elevate Valley Road a significant distance, which makes it very much impractical. The Mercer Street is actually not that far off, and it's only in the gutter, not necessarily the center of the roadway. So engineering-wise, that seemed doable.
Thank you, Mayor. There's an excellent article in this week's Echo Sentinel regarding the opioid task force that Committeeman Ray and I are partaking in, and Lieutenant Naga, and a few other people. I attended the opiate addiction vigil that the governor, this was the second annual one he had in Trenton last Wednesday night, and afterwards I took the opportunity to meet with several representatives from Governor Christie's office now, and they are going to work closely with the transition team for Governor-elect Murphy. So I'll speak with somebody from the transition team from Governor-elect Murphy's office. My point is, I encourage everybody to read the article. This is something we have not forgotten about. We take quite seriously. We are going to continue to work with other government agencies, whether it's at the county level, CARES, and and Sheriff Gannon, and work with the state. And I have to believe that Governor Christie, when he leaves office, is going to stay on top of this issue. And as we know, he's working with President Trump on this. So I just want to make sure that the residents are aware that we are staying on top of it. I think the group is now called The Way Out.
It's called Way Out, yeah, that's right.
And Brendan, if you could, maybe give an update, because you were at the meeting and you spoke with Alex Parker from the Echoes.
Yeah. No, I mean, as you said, it's an excellent article. It really hits all the high points of what we've been doing to date, and talks a little bit about the plans for the new year. One of the things we're in the process of doing is arranging a discussion with or a meeting with Dr. Acevedo in the school system, because that's obviously a big area for us, and so that'll be the next thing that we do, and there'll be an education component there, as well as Dr. Acevedo has a team of people that he wants to bring in and work with us.
That's excellent. And, just to put, a sobering thought, I walk home and I only had about 20 minutes at home before I came here tonight. The TV's on, my wife's watching it, and there's a young girl who had passed away. The grandfather was, very painfully explaining what had happened to his granddaughter, and he was, and I asked, and then I realized it doesn't matter, but I said, what town? And my wife said it's in Long Island. It might as well be any town, USA. And then I went upstairs just to check up on some news, and what do I see? A doctor in New York City was found dead of an opioid overdose. This is not going away, and it's going to take a remarkable effort, I think, from everybody to fight this. This is not going to go away. It's not going to be an easy battle. So, anyway, that's my report, and I turn it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm ready now.
Matt,
Yes.
you ready?
This Friday? All right, from the fire department, let's see, Monday morning, I think they responded to 3 calls in a matter of 45 minutes before 8:30 in the morning. I think it was a car, they needed the patient assist with the rescue squad, and then 2 gas leaks. I think the second call came in while they were on the first call, because I saw them leaving the first call on my way to work. Second, we have the Millington Fire Department Christmas or annual holiday party this Friday. What time does it start? 6 o'clock at Millington Fire Department, so everybody's invited. And if you hear sirens going around this weekend, there will be different machinations of Santa Claus going around town with the firemen delivering presents to different kids. Is that Friday, Saturday and Sunday? Saturday for both, so don't be alarmed. Next, from the DPW, first I'd like to thank the Township Committee for the truck that we approved for them last winter, early spring. It was here, arrived just in time. They got everything set up, so it was used on Saturday. And great job by all the men out there that worked on Saturday to clear the roads and keep everybody safe. I don't know if there were any accidents, but I didn't hear the fire department go out for any, which is good. Our styrofoam, we are now up to 6.55 tons of recycled styrofoam this year alone, which is excellent. So thank you to everybody in the community for continuing with the program, and it really caught on. I'm happy to see that. Next, we're still a ways away, but for some people like myself who didn't get a Christmas tree yet, after the holiday season's over, after the holiday season's over, just leave your Christmas trees out on the curb. The garbage company does not take them. You don't need to call the DPW. They kind of just, as they're going about their business during the day, they throw them in. So they'll be collecting them all through January, and then they chop them up, use them for the mulch we use around town and the wood chips. And finally, I am happy to announce we rolled out a new program last week. Dennis, if you can zoom in. Tell me when you're ready. The town saved their money on the spokes model for not charging their customary fee. Basically, if you look, it's kind of blurry, which is actually better for the spokes model. We have a new container down at DPW next to the shed. There's a shed out there that we use for different recycling. It's a black container. It looks like a dumpster, but it's much smaller. And we have now a cooking grease recycling service going in. So it's not oil, not car oil. It's cooking grease only. So those of you who are frying turkeys or collect grease like I do in a canister when you're frying stuff, you can bring it down to the DPW anytime they're open. You dump it in the container, and it's free of charge to all the residents, and it doesn't cost the town a dime because we partnered up with this company called Darpro, who actually does a lot of the restaurant recycling in the area. So what they do is once it's full, we call them up, and they come and basically suck the grease out of the container. And what they use it for is they repurpose it for biodiesel fuels, a couple other things that goes into pet products. And it's more environmentally safe and sound than the regular fuel. So it's one, it's free to the residents. 2, it's environmentally friendly. And 3, it also counts towards recycling credits. So we get, I guess, money from either the county or the state for all the recycling we do. So aside from the styrofoam, it's another thing to add to our resume of recycling products. So I hope everybody uses it. And as I said, feel free to dump any cooking grease you want in there anytime the DPW is open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Kind of feel like mine's kind of boring compared to recycled grease. We had Nancy and I and our engineer Paul went down to the DEP today for a meeting to discuss the letter that we received back in May regarding our capacity insurance issues on the wastewater plant. I think it was a very good and positive meeting. They're very pleased, I think, and convinced that we are approaching a resolution to this in earnest. The fact that the committee approved the study the very next day after the referendum was, that they were very pleased with that. They're very pleased that we're moving forward. Unfortunately, they were unable to give us any specific timeline commitments on how they're going to be able to respond along the way. So I think the best sense of time that we have is what Paul, our engineer, had given us at the last meeting. He recapped those steps with them, and according to the DEP, they are 100% spot on as far as the sequence of events that has to take place to us achieving, a way out of the capacity assurance and also accommodating our future needs. They did bring to the table some interesting options regarding funding possibilities. I was kind of hoping funding meant grant, but it didn't. It was basically sub 1% loans, and they actually in certain sub 1% interest, and in certain instances they can actually do it for 30 years now, apparently. Which if you have excessive expenses and you want to stretch the payments out over a longer period of time, normally at a high interest rate, you probably wouldn't want to do that, but at sub 1%, there's some opportunities there for us.
Did they give an idea of what kind of money? Because I remember the NJEIT loan.
It's all NJEIT stuff, but they seem to imply that if we had a need, they had the mechanics to almost make that work.
Was there a cap on the amount?
Yeah, that's really
No.
what I'm getting at.
No?
Yes, I was going to get to that. So one of the other options with that, because as you guys are aware, every time we bond, it costs us money, right? An almost fixed amount. So you really don't want to bond in small pieces. They actually have a program where they can issue you an NJEIP line of credit. It's almost like a home equity loan, and you just borrow against it as you need it. So you only do your bonding exercise one time.
Perfect. Yeah.
You get pre-approved for some amount, and there's still some discussion around the mechanics of how that works, but if we can leverage that, that would allow us to get access long-term funding at very low interest economically.
And like a construction loan, you would only use it as needed.
Correct, right? So if we decided, 1 year to do $1 million of I&I, we just borrow $1 million that year, and the debt service starts when you borrow it, right?
Wow.
Not when you get the whole 30, whatever $1 million line approved. And they've done this for other towns, and I think the number they said was like one town they did it was like 24 million or something like that. So it's not small numbers that they're talking about. So, and again, there's some we have to worry. There's some mechanics that they have to figure out yet. Don't consider it a done deal, but these are things that they presented as opportunities that were potentially available to us.
And do
So
they
it
have
was productive.
Do they have a timeline on when they'll have things nailed down, or?
Well, we need to start meeting with them again, and we're going to start doing that, those funding discussions in parallel to all the work that Paul is going to have to do after we get the capacity assurance report. He's got to go to Morris County, do the wastewater management plan. That county has to do the wastewater management plan in concert with the DEP at a statewide. So there's a lot of moving parts that have to move together, and we'll just have some discussions with them about financing arrangements. One, obviously, you need some context of what you need for them to
Yeah.
present the line of credit to you.
Right.
And they're not just going to say, oh, yeah, here's $30 million, and then, decide what you want. You need some big picture to get that. So work in progress, but it was very positive. I think one of the things that we did take away from the meeting is we probably would be doing ourselves some good in the status of the DEP if we were able to move forward with some small bits and pieces that don't necessarily require the big engineering study that Paul's talking about, like work on some I&I, do some other stuff that might help towards relieving the capacity assurance, just kind of as a demonstration of our continued support. We tried not to have talk about fines, but they don't want to fine us.
Right.
But and as long as they're convinced that we're moving forward and serious, I think we're safe. That was the general sense that I got from them. They're out to help us, not to hurt us.
Right.
So.
Mayor, we have a small amount of money left from the original $4.3 million bond.
I think we closed it out.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, I think we were, if memory serves, I think we retired it, because I think we only wound up spending 3.6 or something.
Correct,
like
and
that.
I thought there might have been
No,
some
I think
still
we,
sitting in the bond.
no, I think we closed that. We stopped leaving those things sitting out there for so long.
Yep.
But that doesn't stop us from doing it again,
But we would have to bond, pay for the, yeah.
depending how fast we can get the line of credit going.
If we can get the line of credit.
And that's what
Better
and we talked about that. We talked about if we can get that line of credit in place soon enough, then we can start, right? I mean, we had a discussion in 2013 that we wanted to do, pie in the sky, $1 million of I&I a year. Well, we can have that discussion if we have a long-term funding source and can actually, make affordable payments on it.
Right.
So,
That'd be great.
yeah, so it was very good. As a sidebar discussion that came up with them when we were talking about funding sources, we were discussing things in the context of, affordable housing requirements and redevelopment zone, and they threw out that they have some funding mechanisms available for, and I don't know, Bruce, if you've had any discussions with them about this and they've brought them up already with you. They implied that there's funding available for redevelopment where if there's contamination and there's a hardship, that they might be able to help in some fashion. They didn't offer anything specific, but I got the guy's card and I'll give it to you. And he said, definitely reach out. And, I think in one place, they wound up putting a park on one part of the property and the development on the other because it was too environmentally sensitive to actually do anything, and they helped with the funding source. So I don't know, that might bail out, or at least help us. That's follow-up, so.
Impacts water quality.
As long as it impacts water quality, and I would think that contamination in an area that's 2 foot underwater when it floods would impact water quality.
Well, part of the cleanup with the thermoplastic sites is a water quality issue, which is, the high motivation to get this done.
Right. So we may have gotten lucky. I don't know. We'll see. And that's all I had. Consent agenda, 1311 through, 311 through 17318. Does anyone have any questions, concerns?
Move 17-311 through 17-318 as stated in the agenda.
Second.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Yes.
Committeeman Maringo?
Yes.
Committeeman Searchia?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Ray?
Yes, but abstaining from resolution number 17-318.
All righty.
Yes, you should, Fred.
17 as well, because that's the funding source for 18.
Oh, then,
Okay.
okay, so 317 and 318.
Yep.
Abstaining from
Got
that.
it.
Okay.
Yes, if you
Yes.
didn't ask me.
Oh, no, I stopped. Mayor Schuler.
Yes. Ordinance 405-17 for adoption, second reading. Does anyone have any, from the committee, any questions? Discussion?
No.
Seeing none, open up to the public. Ordinance 405-17. Anybody? No? All right, closing ordinance 405-17 to the public.
Move ordinance 405-17 upon second reading.
Second.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Yes.
Committeeman Maringo?
Yes.
Committeeman Searchia?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Ray?
Yes.
Mayor Schuler?
Yes. Discussion action items, we have Eagle Scout project approval.
Yes, Mayor. An Eagle Scout named Carter Rosen has made a request to do his project right out here behind our building. His project involves the rehabilitation and improvement of the existing walking trail, which I understand is kind of dilapidated now, plus an extension of the trail further east along the river skirting the park, fields 1 and 2. The trail would start at the south end of the parking lot at Town Hall and continue approximately 800 feet eastward along the river. It includes the construction of wood-chipped walking trails, signage marking the trail, and a footbridge over a small ditch. The DPW director has confirmed he has wood chips available for the project, and he would arrange to dump them for the project at Cantor Park. The rec director met with Carter and reviewed the project, and she feels this would be an asset for park visitors and can be used in future activities such as an adult obstacle course planned in the spring.
Questions, comments?
You guys familiar with Eagle Scout projects?
Yep.
So Carter Rosen's going to do an Eagle Scout project behind Town Hall here to do basically a trail improvement as his project. And he needs lots of help. He'll need lots of help, so you guys could help.
Everybody who's going to help, raise their hand. There we go.
All right.
Okay, so I'll tell him he can get.
100% participation.
Yeah,
I mean, The
I'm
Eagle
all
Scout
for-
projects have
I'm
been...
all for Eagle Scout projects.
Yeah, I mean, they've been amazing. I mean, whenever I'm in Hicks Track a lot, and there's been so many improvements made by Eagle Scouts there.
Did you see the benches that were recently put in?
Yep, I've actually
They're
used
pretty.
them.
Aren't they amazing?
Oh, they're really, yeah, they're very
Amazing.
good. Yep,
Yeah.
they're excellent. Yep, the ones on the trail and the ones on the path.
Yeah.
are-
Was
are
that
great.
John Dempsey's project, right? I
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Yep.
And no knock ordinance under old business action plan. Nancy, you have some stuff for us for that?
I do. So we've been working with the police department to get this started. The police department will have a no-knock registry application available on their website and in person. It looks like this. All you basically have to do is fill out your name, address, phone number, and email if you have one. It will be available beginning on January 2nd. Registration will begin on January 2nd. The residents who sign up can obtain a window sticker, which will look like this, at no charge, if they pick it up in person. If they want it mailed to them, the charge will be $1. The stickers were ordered, and the total cost was $185.36 for 1,000 stickers. So the registration will begin on the police department website, as I said, or in person on the 2nd, and they will advertise it on their Facebook page. We'll advertise it on our Facebook page and on the TV and on our website as well. So people who obtain solicitor's permits from the police department will get a list of everybody who's registered, and they're not permitted to knock on those doors. And there's a penalty if they do. Their license would be revoked, and there's a monetary penalty that is listed in the general penalties in our ordinance book. So look for the registration at the beginning of the year, and feel free to stop by the police department to pick up your sticker. And if you have any questions, feel free to call me or call the police department, and but it's pretty self-explanatory otherwise. Does anybody here have a question?
No? Thank you very much.
Yep.
Any new business? Seeing none. Brief announcements list today. Free rabies clinic, Saturday, January 13th, 2018, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Bernard's Township Public Works Garage. That's it.
Oh, did you forget, Mr. Mayor, did you forget what happens on December 25th?
I know what happens on December 25th. Santa Claus shows up. So, yes, so hope everybody has a happy holiday. You guys all ready? Yeah?
Have you all been good?
Uh-huh. Moms, dads?
I heard it sometimes.
And I've heard you guys have been working really hard in school, so after Christmas, take that whole week off.
Uh-huh, there you go.
Dennis has it.
Yep. I will open the meeting to the public. And now I will open the meeting to the public for comments on any matter.
Limited to 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Just a reminder that spring is creeping up on us, and April 22nd is the street fair in Sterling.
Thank you, Dennis.
The sun will be shining that day.
Predicting good weather?
Absolutely.
Very good.
That's what I do. Do you guys want to say anything about the impending recycling calendar change and how people can get ready for that? The odd-even arrangement?
I don't have it with me, but you should be getting, any day, I believe, you should be getting your newsletter in the mail, followed in about a week and a half, I think, by the town calendar. Both have inserts in them, color inserts that outline the change in recycling. It basically only changes half the town, I think it is. So your recycling will still be picked up every other Wednesday. It's just for half the town, the Wednesday will change. So instead of being the first and third, it'll be the second and fourth. The list by zone is given with each street. So they're color coded. So if you're, I think they were red and blue. So if you're red, you'll be picked up on, say, the first and third. And if you're blue, you'll be the second and fourth.
Okay, so there is publicity in the works for this. I ask only because nothing has been said to date, and there's only one more normal Wednesday pickup before the first of the year, and then everybody's got to be ready.
There is a mailer going to every single household.
And it basically would be twice. Once
Every
will be-
household or every property owner?
Every property owner, I believe, gets the newsletter and also gets the calendar. So it'll be twice. There's inserts in both, and then it'll also be on our website.
I asked that question about every property owner because you know that about 13% of the town property owners don't put out their garbage because they don't live here. And you've got to deal with occupants rather than property owners, but you know that.
Well, I'm
Thank you.
guessing after the first Wednesday that the stuff doesn't get picked
Yeah.
up, they'll call.
And also to remind everyone that there are garbage bags available at Town Hall for purchase if you exceed your 2-can during the holidays and need extra garbage bags. You could put those bags out. They say Long Hill on them, I believe, and then the garbage will be taken.
And just the Weeblos are here because they had to do a badge, as Bruce knows, and Cornell, for lawmaking. Now laws get made, so. I don't know, we did make, I guess we did.
We did make a law today. We did one ordinance today.
That's right, one ordinance about how people are getting paid.
Yep.
So the people that ref your recreational basketball games or work at the lake that you deal with, we approved all their salaries.
I was a Weeblo in the late 1970s.
He wasn't a very good one.
They didn't have Weeblo 1, Weeblo 2 back then.
Does anybody want to come up and explain what a Weeblo is?
Any questions about anything, guys? No? Mic's open.
Ethan, you have a question? Okay. Dennis.
Oh, we have an elderly Weeblo.
Just a reminder, guys, this show will be rebroadcast tomorrow night at 7:30 and on Friday morning and on Saturday and Sunday. If you watch our channel, Comcast 29 or Fios 37, every 3 or 4 minutes you'll see a schedule of when the rebroadcasts are. Be sure to watch.
And see yourselves on TV.
And it'll be on the website as well, so you can click a link and have all your friends. You're on TV right
You're
now.
on TV.
So why don't you wave? Wave to everybody at home.
It'll be on YouTube TV.
Right.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Mayor?
Second that.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Happy
Have a great
holidays.
holiday.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.